Hello, I'm back. Still talking about the make and work stuff. I've completed the sections, but now we're going to talk about work incentives. So, for Social Security Disability Insurance, that's your SsDI. Most people first receive these services based off of their work history, a widow or a child's benefits. They're typically received on the third. So, SsDI provides nearly a decade of protection. So you have your 9-month trial work period, a 3-year extended period of eligibility, and a 5 years to apply for expedited reinstatement. Sorry, little stumble there. You can meet with a benefits counselor to get the details about how working will affect your benefits. So for this, as I said, call 1-888-208-8700. Excuse me. So first we're going to talk about the trial work period. For 9 months, you can earn any amount and still receive your full SsDI check. These months don't have to be in a row. A month can only count if your gross pay before taxes is $880 or more. If you're self-employed, Social Security counts net earnings from self-employment, which is also called an NESE. NESE is 92.35% of your net profit. Net profits is the money you take in from your business minus your business expenses. A trial work period month counts as NESE of $880 or more, or working at least 80 hours in a month, even if you don't make a profit. You must send your pay stubs to Social Security when you are working so they can count your trial work periods. You might have already used your trial work months if you've worked since you first applied for SsDI and didn't mail in your pay stubs. If this is the case, you should call Social Security and ask them to send you a work activity report. So, as I said, you don't have to use all of them in a row. So, like, say 1 month you make more than $880 and you use one. Well, the next month you only make $600. That's fine. So then on to the next type. The next type is extended period of eligibility. For 3 years, you still get your full SsDI check if your gross pay before taxes is under $1,220 a month in 2019. This amount may have gone up a little in 2020, but generally, this $1,220 monthly amount, or $2,040 if you're blind, is called your SGA, Substantial Gainful Activity. To avoid an overpayment, you must tell Social Security about any month you earn SGA. The first time you earn SGA during or after your EPA, you'll still get your full SsDI check for 3 more months. And although you won't get your SsDI check any month after that, when you earn SGA, your SsDI check is on hold for that month. It is not terminated. So, for example, say 1 month you make over that. You're doing great, your job's fine, you make over that. You wouldn't get a check for that month, but say the next month something happens, you're not working as much. Well, your benefits would go back. Now, I suggest taking in all of these, making sure as soon as you get your pay stub, I send them immediately, and then I send them all at the end of the month too, just to make sure. But one of the things I would suggest is knowing how exactly it works, because sometimes they'll overpay you. They'll give you more than, if you make more than that and they give you a check, then okay, they made a mistake. They are very good about working with people as far as that goes. So, but just keep track of your expenses and create a budget if needed to help you with your work check as well. And then after the extended period of eligibility, you have the extended period of Okay, extended period of eligibility. Yeah. After your EPE ends, your SsDI continues if you're still all earning below SGA. So after the 3 years, if you're still earning below the substantial gainful amount, your SSDI can continue. And although your SSDI will be terminated if you do earn SGA, there's a 5-year window where you can apply for expedited reinstatement. When you apply for expedited reinstatement, or EXR, Social Security restarts your SSDI check back up right away. And in 6 months, they'll decide if you're back on benefits or not. Even if you're not, you don't have to repay them for the SSDI checks you got. If you are back on benefits, then you'll get a new trial work period after you've gone 24 months without earning SGA. There. So that's actually some of the SSDI work things. And we also have Social Security disability insurance work incentives, continued, impairment-related work expenses, subsidy, and special conditions. It's important to understand how SSDI counts income. SSGA is $1,220 a month in 2019. Social Security starts by looking at gross wages, or what you earned before taxes are taken out. But deductions can lower your countable income. For SSDI, Social Security counts job income in the calendar month it was earned. So, say you technically didn't get it. If this information was not available, Social Security will count the job income in the calendar month it was paid. Other deductions can lower your countable income even more. Keep in mind that if your gross pay is already below SGA, then you get your full SSDI check anyway, so you don't need to take out these deductions. But if your gross pay is over SGA, then you can still get your SSDI check if these deductions put your countable income back under. Remember that only Social Security can approve these deductions. Notice, too, that these deductions are not reimbursements. So, if you pay for items or services with your own money, insurance doesn't cover it, and no one pays you back, then it could be an impairment-related work expense. The expense must be due to your disability or other medical or mental health issue, and the expense must be necessary for you to maintain your job. Examples include medication, counselor, doctor copays, medical supplies, special equipment such as assistive devices, transportation if impairment-related, service animals. For example, let's say your gross earnings are $1,230 in a certain month. Normally, you wouldn't get an SSDI check, but if you have $11 in impairment-related work expenses, or IRWE, then your countable income is $1,219, so you do get an SSDI check after all. There's the subsidy, as I mentioned. A subsidy is when your employer makes special accommodations for you. For example, due to your disability, your employer might let you work at a slower pace than every other employees, but you get paid the same. If this means that you're 90% as productive as an employee without a disability, then Social Security might count only 90% of your gross earnings. So let's say your gross earnings are $1,300 in a certain month. Normally, you wouldn't get an SSDI check. But if Social Security only counts 90%, then your countable income is only $1,170. So you do get an SDI check after all. There are also special conditions. A special condition is when someone like a job coach comes to your workplace to help you out. Social Security might allow you to deduct the value of the job coach services. For example, let's say your gross earnings are $1,280. Normally, you wouldn't get an SSDI check. But let's say you had a job coach who was with you at your job for 10 hours that month. If you get paid $11 an hour, then the value of the job coach's service is $80. So now your countable income is $1,200, which means you do get an SDI check after all. This is true even if you don't pay the job coach yourself. Notice too that the value of the special conditions is based on your hourly pay rate, not the job coach's. So, now on to self-employment work incentives that lower SGA. Now, I explained the net earnings from self-employment a little bit. When you're self-employed, you need to file a tax return with the IRS, and it's important to have a tax professional help you. Social Security will need to see a copy of your tax return, They will look at your net profit for the year and multiply that by 0.9235. Sorry. The result is your yearly NESE, or your net earnings from self-employment. After your trial work period is over, Social Security will average this over the number of months that year that you ran your business. For example, if you ran your business for 5 months, then Social Security will take your yearly NESE and divide by 5. If your monthly NESE is under SGA, then you get your full SsDI check. If your monthly NESE is 1,220 or more, then you don't for those months. But there are deductions that will help it to make accountable income back to under 1,220, then you do get your SsDI check. There are 3 deductions for self-employment recipients: impairment-related work expenses, as described before. Unpaid help is when someone helps you run your business but they don't get paid. Unincurred business expenses happen when someone gives you free stuff for your business. This could be an item, service. You should write it down on the date you got it and what it would have cost if you had paid for it. Social Security can actually deduct this amount too. So there's also more benefits with Social Security, disability insurance, work incentives, and extended Medicare. Medicare is the federal government's health insurance program for people 65 and older, and who have been on SsDI for at least 24 months. Part A is for the inpatient services, Part B is for outpatient, and Part D is for the pharmacy. You can keep your Medicare for many years, even if you earn enough for your SsDI check to stop. Your extended period of Medicare coverage begins after your trial work period ends, and it goes for at least 7 years and 9 months, or longer if you're still receiving SsDI after that. Even if you're not receiving SsDI after your extended Medicare ends, you still may be able to buy into Medicare. Keep in mind that employers usually offer private health insurance, especially for full-time employees. You can have private insurance and Medicare at the same time. And this can help cover things that Medicare might not pay for. Even with a pre-existing condition, you may qualify for employer-sponsored health insurance if you can show that you already had insurance, like Medicare or Medicare. This is because of HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. So there's also a Medicare option for workers with disabilities. Every state has a Medicare program, and in it's called Medicare. In Maine, it's called Medicare. Not everyone on SsDI has Medicare because there are 3 requirements you must meet. You must be disabled. Your unearned income in 2019 must be under $1,116 a month, and your resources must be under $2,000. But but your vehicle and the house you live in don't count. When you start working, you can keep your Medicare if your unearned income plus only half of your earned income is under $2,603 a month. This means a lot of people can work full-time and still have Medicare. Sometimes there's a monthly $10 or $20 fee. DHHS often calls this working disabled Medicare. Keep in mind that employers usually offer private insurance, especially for full-time employees. You can have private insurance and Medicare at the same time, and this can help you cover things that Medicare might not pay for. Even with pre-existing conditions, you qualify for employer-sponsored health insurance if you can show that you already had insurance like Medicare or Medicare. This is because of HIPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. I'll get into that a little more later. This video is running a little longer. But yes, there are ways of keeping your health insurance. In short, there are ways. Social Security can protect you from losing your benefits so you can work, and also, get them back very quickly if you do for some reason need to get your cash benefit back. And as far as SsDI, there's a lot of information as far as being able to keep your Medicare insurance or your Medicare. So that's it for this one. I'm still going to go into the next one talking about SSI work incentives, and then I think that video will end the Maine Can Work series. But thank you for listening.